So this is going to be all about functions. It's actually going to be quite a short one because it doesn't go into too much detail in AS. It's a bit more, it gets much more difficult in A2. We just need to know the definitions for now, right? So what is a function? A function is basically if you input something, then a function will output another value. i.e. if I input an x value, then I get an output of a y value. That is a function. There are some notations of functions, so you can see one here and here. This one here is the more commonly known one, and it's read f of x, that's how you read it. And an example would be f of x is 2x plus 1. That's a function, right? Because if I put in an x value into that, I get a y value out. Other definitions we need to know is the domain and range. So the domain is basically what are the possible x values we can input into the function. This may be limited in some questions, so to be aware of it. The range is therefore what are the possible y values coming out of the function. Once again, this is all dependent upon the domain. The last definition is roots. So we kind of looked at roots in the previous videos. Basically, roots are just the solutions for when the function is equal to 0. So if I have a function is equal to 0 and I solve for x, that is a certain root. We looked at this when we were trying to solve the quadratic equations, right? All these x values we got from factorizing and using the formula and computing a square, they're all technically different roots. Okay, so let's look at this example here. So if we have this function f of x is equal to x squared plus 9x plus 8, and they ask us what's f of 1 and f of 5. What that essentially means is what is the value the function outputs when I put in x is 1 and x is 5. So if I do f of 1, I just have to replace x's with 1. So I get f of 1 will be 1 squared plus 9 times 1 plus 8, 18. Same thing for f of 5, just instead I now replace x with 5 and I get a value of 78. This second part is they're asking us to find the roots of the function. Remember, the root is when the function is equal to 0. So I say that x squared plus 9x plus 8 is equal to 0. Luckily, this factorizes. We get x plus 1, x plus 8 in the brackets. X is negative 1 and negative 8. So as I said, this video is very, very simple. It's just a brief introduction into what a function can be.